Please allow recording for me.
PTI, Nickel.
Yeah, Marnus, congratulations on a wonderful 100. How challenging was it to face this inexperienced Indian bowling attack and particularly Washington Sundar?
Yeah, I think, the thing about when you're playing really good teams is that it doesn't matter who comes in. Everyone in that lineup is very disciplined. They understand their role. They're bowling. They're very skilled bowlers. So, it was a sort of matter of discipline early on, especially in that sort of first session and a half, making sure you get yourself in, you get the pace of the wicket so that you can really, cash in when the bowlers are a little bit tired and they're a bit cooked.
Dan Brady.
G'day, Marnus. Just a question about at this stage of a series. Is it as much of a mental hurdle at times to keep the concentration and stay on the task as much as it is dealing with the actual bowlers?
Yeah, I think you're spot on. I think, currently, especially out there, just the physical, the mental, and just trying to make sure you're staying on. Doesn't matter who's bowling at you, making sure you have 100% concentration. Especially in Brisbane here, it gets very hot and humid. So, if you keep the bowlers out there, that it's really tough to keep backing up. But yeah, spot on. It's definitely a mental challenge at this time of the series and with the way things are. And
just obviously the ball when you were on 37 and Rahane dropped you, but also your dismissal, there just seemed to be a few balls that would kick up or do something you weren't expecting on that shorter length?
Yeah, I haven't looked too closely at probably both of those. I did feel like on 38 or 37, the ball did sort of just hold in the wicket and kick up a little bit. I do feel like the wicket is considerably drier than it would be normally. So I think, those things could add some value, especially, as we go into day 2, 3, 4, 5 to the back end. I haven't seen a Gabba wicket that's really, up and down, but, it showed some signs today of a bit of dryness.
Thank you.
Rob Forsyth.
Hey, Marnus, congrats on the ton. How do you see the game placed at this point? Are you guys happy to have that many runs on the board, or if you guys unhappy with the way they got out today?
Oh, look, all our batters are going to make their own assessment of the way they got out. They're all international players, and they get judged. Everyone gets judged harshly, but you're your harshest critic, and everyone will look at their dismissals and go, what could I have done better and what could I have done? So I think, I'm definitely disappointed not going on and getting a really big score, which would have put us in a better position as a team. So, for me, we still take the position we're in, 5 for 274. Really good performance. It was really nice to see Greenie and Tim finish it off there when we did lose 2 wickets in quick succession.
Andrew Ramsey.
Oh, hi, Marnus, and congrats. I'm just wondering if there's a couple of those bowlers that you probably saw a bit of during the ODI series, but when's the last time you sort of went into a match coming up against guys that you probably hadn't seen before? And did you have to formulate plans on the run, or had you seen enough of a vision of them beforehand to know what was coming?
No, definitely today I had to formulate some plans on the run and sort of keep understanding the situation, what they were doing. And I think that's the part of the game that is really enjoyable. You've got to read the situation out there. You can look at stuff on a screen and see how guys bowl, but only out there with a feel of how you can do things and what you can do differently to make your life easier out there. So yeah, definitely made some plans on the run today.
Raj.
Thanks, Cole. Hi, Marnus. Just something on a similar vein. How would you rate this 100 amongst all your centuries you've scored so far, especially given the bowling attack you were facing?
Look, any test century, it doesn't matter who it's against or against what opposition. You want to make sure you're scoring hundreds, and probably for me today, disappointing that I didn't end up making that a really big 100. But like I said before, Indian bowling attacks, they're very disciplined. Doesn't matter who's bowling. They're very planned. they're very strategic, and you saw that today with their bowling attack. They were very disciplined early and didn't give us many scoring opportunities in that first session.
If I could just ask one more. With this time you spent with Steve Smith in the middle, how was Steve coping? I mean, given all that, whatever happened last week or early this week.
Look, I don't think when he walks out on the field that stuff doesn't really concern him. He's focusing on the ball and scoring runs, and if anything, it just gives him extra motivation to put big runs on the board. Yeah. So I don't think that stuff comes into play when he's actually out there at all.
I think we've got one more here, guys. Rob Forsyth.
Marnus, you mentioned earlier doing the hard work and that the bowlers would be a bit tired on. We saw Navdeep Sahni go off for scans on his groin. How big a game changer could that be? What sort of difference would that make if they're a bowler down for the rest of the test?
Yeah, well, I mean, they probably played one extra bowler than they would usually, so I don't think it'd make a difference if we bat really big first innings and keep the bowlers out there. But that usually now teams shape up with 3 quicks and a spinner, and they have sort of 6 out and out batters and a keeper. But obviously they went with the extra bowling option, and it probably paid off for them because obviously they lost Saini in the first sort of 10 overs or around there.
One more, guys. Andrew Wu.
G'day, Marnus. Congratulations on your ton. Was it satisfying for you to, I suppose, let your bat do the talking after, I suppose, some of the unfair comments made about you in the last week?
Look, I for myself, my focus is always with the bat. Well, I know that I'm, sort of always buzzing around, always talking and keeping the energy up in the team, and that's one of the roles that I've taken on board. When we're out in the field. But my job when I got the bat is to score runs, and I've been slightly disappointed so far in the series that I haven't been able to get a big score, and it was nice to obviously get the 3 figures today, but still got to make sure that when you get yourself in like I did today, that you're cashing in really big.
You seem to get better every innings. You're sort of a player that likes a lot of work, I suppose. You're kind of disappointed there's not a 5th test. Yeah,
look, whenever you play India, you would like more tests and more tests against the best opposition. But for me, I just got to make sure, really focus for the next innings and make sure that I'm ready to get Australia in a position to win this test.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys, and thanks, Marnus. We'll catch up with all of you guys tomorrow. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Marnus. Thanks, Cole.